Hey, 7th graders, Mr. A with another one of our flip lessons. This is going to be number 10 in our interactive notebook. We're going to talk about the social. Alright, hopefully I'm out of the way there a little bit. Don't know exactly what happened with the video, but it's another one of our flip lessons. We're going to talk about the social impact of the Erie Canal, how it impacted New York State, the United States very briefly, and then the institution of slavery, and then we will talk about this in class a little bit more in depth. All right, so first of all, we got to talk about what social means, all right? Social is the study of people. People should have been underlined there, and their interactions. So again, this isn't just, oh, I'm going to study that person over there. I'm going to study how these people impacted the lives and dynamics of other people. How does adding groups, issues like immigration, issues like, we can talk about the political parties. We talked about it yesterday with political. What certain people are going to make up those political parties? How is that going to impact the political parties? That would be what a social historian would look like. At the Erie Canal, we're going to look at how did the Erie Canal impact people? How did it impact where they live? How did it impact how they live? Did they change anything? Did it change the culture? Did it change education? Things like that. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself into some of the buzzwords, but I'm noticing some slide mistakes here, trying to get rid of them, make it a little bit more visually appealing. But social is a study of people and their interactions. How are people working together, not working together, impacting each other, etc. So what are some social buzzwords, right? When we talk about social, what are we thinking of? We're thinking of words like culture. We're thinking of words of religion, right? Your culture is the way it is because of the people who are basically there. They're going to impact that culture. We can talk about social media today. Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. I mean, it seems like there's new ones every day that I'm not really aware of. But they're connecting people all over the world. How is that impacting our culture? How is that impacting our people? How is that impacting how people live their lives? We talk about certain social issues, education, immigration. Are there economic, political, and geographical impacts on education and immigration? Sure. But at the end of the day, these are also about people. So how would those different interactions impact people educationally? How would those different interactions impact people who are immigrating, who are moving, who are migrating, things like that? All right. Social is the study of people and their interactions. Oop, let me get out of the way so I'm out of the picture. So what did the Erie Canal do for people? It brought them together. We had the Canal Boom. Population growth in cities and towns all along the canal. We watched the video in class. Still 80% of people living in upstate New York live within 15 miles of the canal. It is still impacting our people. Cities like Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, Utica, Albany, New York City simply would not exist if it wasn't for the Erie Canal in the way that they are right now. People move to the cities. They're looking for work. They're looking for trade. They're looking for jobs. They're looking for a better life, right? They're not just moving because they think things are going to stay the same. They're moving because they think things are going to get better. So you can see with all the boats, those are canal boats down in New York City, and you can see this is a boom. We're not only going to be shipping goods, we're going to be shipping people. We need people to work on those boats. We need people to work in the businesses and the shops and the factories along the canal. It is going to be a canal boom. How much of a canal boom? Well, if I can get myself out of the way a little bit here. I mean, look at the growth of some of these cities. In 30 years, Albany grows by 40,000 people, Utica by 16,000 people, Syracuse by over 20,000, Rochester by over 30,000, Buffalo by over 30,000, and I think it's very hard to see New York City down there at the bottom. I can't get them in, but New York City grows by over 400,000 people. It becomes our trading epicenter, and this is all created because of the Erie Canal. All right, so also we've gotten a little bit at the end. It's also going to impact the United States as a whole. Not only is it, first, the canal starts to impact people just by building it. We are going to get more immigration, particularly from Ireland, of people who are coming to work in the canal. We talked about the hard work of digging out the canal. Nobody really wanted to do it. These Irish workers were getting paid 5 times the amount of money that they would get paid in Ireland, so they're coming across the sea. And again, these jobs maybe 50 cents a day, right? Back-breaking labor, but at the time there wasn't a lot of jobs in Ireland. People were losing their farms, so they're coming over here trying to make a better life. So that's an impact on the whole United States as we see an immigration start to peak up during this time period. It also leads to a migration within the United States. Not only are we shipping goods east to west from Buffalo to Albany, we're also shipping people. And it was much easier to travel on the canal. It was faster, it was cheaper, you could ship more of anything using the canal. And once you got over to Buffalo, you could get into Lake Erie, you could get into the Ohio River, and you could use those to travel to states like Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, which weren't states then, but quickly will become states as part of the Northwest Territory as more people move in. So you have this kind of external migration of workers, thousands of workers coming in and settling in these areas, and then you're going to have tens of thousands of people moving within the United States to what is the western part of the United States in the 1820s and 1830s. So here you can see, try to get up in the Atlantic Ocean here so you can kind of see me, some of those territories: Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, Kentucky, Tennessee, getting that population boom slowly, right? 1803, that's before the canal. 1816, that's before the canal. 1818, we're getting some usable canal there. 1837, we're fully using the Erie Canal there. 1848, we're fully using the canal there. And you can see how we get that connection. Right here's where the canal's going. We can get to New York, we can go to the Erie Canal, we can get to Lake Erie, we can use the Great Lakes, we can get into the Ohio River, we can get all the way into the Mississippi River, and you're going to see a lot of internal migration in the United States that way as well. Slavery is a thing nobody want to talk about. Okay, nobody want to talk about. I mean, it's not even mentioned in our United States Constitution until we get rid of it in 1865. But you could definitely teach a U.S. history course focusing solely on slavery. So Erie Canal does have an impact on it because it changes that migration dynamic. The Northwest Territory, before Ohio and Indiana became states, had banned slavery in the territory. But they had seen an influx of people coming from the South. And obviously those people from the South, their culture, they're used to having slaves on plantations. So they wanted that. Those numbers are going to be kind of taken over by people moving from the North, people moving from New England, people moving from the Massachusetts area, New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New York, where slavery was already banned. Those folks are going to move into the Northwest Territory, and they're going to keep those territories free, and then those later states are going to vote to ban slavery, and that's going to keep slavery from spreading into those territories. All right, that's our flip lesson for today. Hope that we got those notes done. As always, if you have any questions, hit me up on Schoology. Until next time, 7th graders, out.